witnessing your mother being shot by your own flesh and blood, tu sangre, by your father, tu padre. Can anyone here imagine that? A girl in our community witnessed that crime. Just like that, she was orphaned. Her innocence was stolen and shattered by the shock and trauma she had endured. Once she was finally released from the hospital, she was expected to return to school. She was expected to continue to learn. But she hadn't healed 100%. She was still in the wheelchair. And that is when, in the spring of 2018, I became her homebound teacher. Has anybody out here ever heard of a homebound teacher? Okay, I see my posse right there, but there's less than 5%, I'm sure. Our homebound department began in the year 2014 with one retiree part-time teacher. We are currently 24 homebound teachers. Homebound placement allows a student with a medical diagnosis to continue education outside of their school building. It is the most restrictive educational placement. By the end of any school year, we will have served, give or take, 300 students. We are not quite there yet, but we're inching to that 300, and we will accept students with a medical diagnosis until about 2 weeks before school gets out. As a bilingual homebound educator since October of 2015, I have been supporting students in the most unfathomable, incomprehensible circumstances, unbelievable circumstances. Homebound students have to accept and adapt to their new normal with their medical diagnosis. And they fall into about 3 categories. You have your physical illnesses, cancers, all types of cancer. Had one student with ovarian cancer. She was 16 years old. You heard that right. Another student had brain cancer. All types of leukemia, a lot of kids with leukemia, unfortunately. Gun violence, so I have 2 with gunshot wounds this year due to gang violence, car accidents, things of that nature. And then you have your students that are living with mental health conditions. They have been diagnosed with depression and anxiety. And unfortunately, some of them are not receiving the critical therapy that they need. The last category are your students that have been through trauma, like the 12-year-old student. These students have been through the ringer. Their ACE scores are all 10s. They have been physically, mentally, emotionally abused. They have been neglected. They have been abandoned. They are in and out of foster care, in and out of group homes. Their parents are in and out of jail. Their parents are living with drug addiction. And it also includes students that were sex trafficked. Yes, you heard that right. Students that were sex trafficked. So far this year, I've had 2, but those are not the only ones in our district. It's just we haven't found the rest. They are currently sitting in your middle and high school classrooms and walking your school hallways. This job is hard. What we do is hard when you're working with students with medical illnesses. Has anybody out there lost a student and you had to attend their funeral? My condolences to you, and I am in solidarity with you. During my tenure as a homebound educator, I have lost a total of 7 students. 5 to cancer, 1 to sickle cell anemia, 1 death by suicide. The youngest was 6 years old. There was not a dry eye in that funeral. By the fall of 2021, I had already lost 3 homebound students from June of that year to October of that year. And so I was carrying a lot of grief. I was aware that I was not doing well. And since I have lived through depression, I knew I had to take the necessary action. And so I contacted a therapist from the CMS amazing program that we have, the Employee Assistance Program. Before I continue, if anyone out here is not doing well mentally, if you know you're off, please, please, please take the necessary action and reach out for support. So during one of my sessions, my therapist says to me, Maritza, you may need to consider leaving this position. She made me realize that I was carrying a lot of grief. 3 deaths, 5 months, 7 deaths in 6 years. And I gotta tell you, I thought about it. But teaching is my passion. Teaching is my calling. Teaching is what I was born to do. And I remember the impact that my senior high school teacher, Ms. Hulek, had on me. And I want to pay it forward. So our students have to adapt to a new normal. They have to accept a new normal. I myself had to accept their new normal. It's different when you're teaching in a classroom versus being a homebound teacher. And so after I accepted their new normal, I realized that it is most important to serve the whole student and to support them in their educational, mental, and physical needs. I have learned that in this amazing job that I have to hold the grief, honor the grief that is there because of the deaths, and honor the joy of the deep connections I built with my students because of the one-on-one sessions. I have learned to have high expectations for them because I want them to succeed in life. But at the same time, I know that they will not meet my expectations, nor will they be able to meet their own expectations. I care more about how they're doing mentally above anything else. Assignments are important. We're going to get those done. We may have to ask for a session. We're going to get them done. If they're not doing well, I cannot continue a session. COVID taught us that the absence of connection affected our students' well-being. And so now you have our students that are dealing with social isolation on top of a medical diagnosis. Sometimes the students feel like no one in their school building cares about them or that they even matter. But I let them know that they matter.
I let them know that I am on your team. And I want them to feel love, connected, connected, seen, heard. Because that's what Miss Hulak did for me. So sometimes during a session, I may have to pivot. I have made these great plans and I'm ready to teach. And unbeknownst to me, they took a pain medication and I can't continue the session because of their recall. They're not able to recall. Or a medical diagnosis can affect a student's confidence. And I think of my student, Arnav. He is currently a senior in the School of Science and Math. And you'll be hearing an excerpt from his entrance essay to the school in 2022. Arnav did not have the stamina to complete his assignments at the caliber that he was used to. Arnav was in the Horizons Gifted program. He's a high flyer, in the top 99 percentile. But he didn't have the stamina. And it took him a little while for him to accept his new normal, but he did.
I was on cloud nine. Everything was great. Until it wasn't. One day, in my sadness, my homebound support teacher told me something I will never forget. She urged, Arnav, you may not be able to control your sickness, but you are one of the most capable young men I've ever met. And if you put your mind to it, you can do anything. This one sentence was so philosophical, yet so powerful.
When his mom and he called me to tell me this, I was humbled. Because I didn't know at the time that I made an impact like that. He didn't tell me, right? They don't tell us. Thankfully, I heard about it, right? But sometimes we will never know the impact. Just know, teachers, that educators, we impact our students. And know that we are also change agents for our students. And this reminds me of the impact that Miss Hulak, my favorite teacher in the whole wide world, had on me in Brooklyn, New York. I just texted her that I was going to mention her yesterday, and she texted me back. I can't wait till she hears this. And so, as teachers, as leaders, friends, students, there will come a time that you will have to accept a new normal, either for yourselves or for someone else. Teachers of record. Homebound students will be returning back to your classrooms. Because of FERPA regulations, you will not know everything they're going through. I don't even know everything they're going through. All you need to know is that all the students are going through something. Everyone in this place is going through something. So how are you going to prepare for them? It might cause you to accept a new normal and change some things in your classroom when they return. David Holmes, the stunt body double for the actor Harry Potter, he was also on cloud nine. Everything was great. He was living his best, he was working in his best job. Until a terrible accident happened when he was 25 years old in the year 2009. He was practicing for a stunt, and something went terribly wrong. And he became instantly paralyzed. He broke his neck. He's paralyzed from the chest down. He is the man that he is today because of that accident. He wasn't very proud of his life prior to that accident. And it took him a while also to accept his new normal, but he did. He is an advocate now for disability rights and for stunt safety performers. Emotional intelligence helped him with accepting his new normal. He stays in the present. He has a positive mindset. He believes in laughter. And of course, also giving back. When we serve, it helps us. My final thoughts are, may you accept and grieve the things you cannot change. May you have the courage to accept your new normal. Above all, may you honor the joy in your life. And joy does not mean that everything is going well. May you live a life full of gratitude and hope. It has been a pleasure and an honor speaking to you tonight. Thank you. Gracias. Merci. Namaste.